Linda, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is gonna be a good old makeup tutorial, and this time around she's playing with colors, honey. So without any further ado, let's start with our makeup. Like all my makeup tutorials, I'm starting with my bare face. So we're gonna start by prepping our skin. First, I'm prepping my under eyes using this under eye cream by PAC. This will ensure that our under eyes are nicely prepped for concealer. Next, for my face, I'm gonna be using this primer by Fenty Beauty, and I broke the pump on it, that's why I'm using it like that. So I'm focusing this primer mainly on the areas that needs hydration, so that is my cheeks and also my forehead. So I'm avoiding applying it on the centers of my face because I don't need any hydration there. Moving on to this pore filling primer by Nykaa, I'm gonna be applying it only on the centers of my face and the areas that I have open pores. After all that skin prep, it's time for foundation. So I'm using this one by Fenty Beauty, and surprisingly broke the pump on this one too. I don't remember doing it, but yeah. And by the way, I said what the fork here, okay? So I'm using a foundation brush this time, and in case if you guys are curious, this is the PAC 231 brush. I absolutely love this for foundation. I'm using stippling and then circular motion to apply my foundation, and I'm also dragging it across my neck. I'm using a beauty blender to just absorb any extra foundation that I have on my face. Then taking a mixture of these two concealers. First, I'm going to be applying the L'Oreal one, and then I'm going to be applying the e.l.f. concealer, which is slightly highlighting. I'm going to be focusing the e.l.f. concealer on the centers of my face as well. So to blend the concealer, I'm going to be using another brush by PAC, and first I'm going to be blending out the concealer on the centers of my face and then moving on to my under eyes. So the concealer looks too stark for now, but don't worry, we're gonna blend it out later on. So can you see a distinctive line where I've applied my concealer and where I've applied my foundation? I'm gonna blend it out using a beauty blender. And can you see the difference of how the concealer is now nicely meshing in with the foundation? Because I can clearly see it. I'm telling you, blending makes all the difference. So I'm using a banana powder here to set my concealer in place. This will also ensure that the concealer looks highlighted. I don't know about you, but when I filmed this makeup look, oh my god, it felt so therapeutic. That's what makeup does to you, you know? Do you all agree with me on the same? Oh, and by the way, I'm just setting my face very lightly with the Maybelline Fit Me Loose powder. Now to add some more warmth to my face, I'm going to be using this bronzer by Colourpop, and I've already hit pan on this one, so that tells you how much I like this bronzer. Just adding it to the usual places, my cheekbones, on my forehead, and also my double chin, because yeah, I need that help in that department. And I'm also going to be contouring my nose with that bronzer. Honestly, I dread contouring my nose because I suck at it, but whenever I do it, I realize that it makes such a huge difference. You guys, I'm so sorry for my expression throughout the entire video. It looks like I'm pissed, but honestly I'm not. Okay, so moving on to the tutorial because I went off topic. So now I'll be highlighting my face using this shimmer brick by Makeup Revolution, and I'm only using that peachy shade from the palette. So I'm applying the highlighter on the high parts of my face, so that includes my cheekbones, the bridge of my nose, the tip of my nose, my cupid's bow, chin, and also on my temples. I look like a glazed donut, but I'm not complaining. And with that, our base is done. So now comes the fun part, that is our eyeshadow. I'm going to be using the same e.l.f. primer to sort of, prime my eyes. So for eyeshadow palette today, I'm going to be using this one by Patricia Bright, and I'm going to be using that shade called Queen, because yes, Queen, and I'm going to be using that as a transition shade. I'm also going to be running that same eyeshadow on my lower lash line. Once I'm happy with that eyeshadow, I'm going to be moving on to my next eyeshadow, which is in the shade Wifey. It's a really pretty shade. It's sort of a purpley pinky matte eyeshadow, and I'm going to be applying it on my crease. Okay, so once that is done, I'm going to be dipping into the shade Queen again, and I'm going to be buffing out the edges of the shade Wifey because I don't want any harsh lines. Now I'm going to be touching up the shade Wifey again because I sort of lost the intensity while blending, and look how blended the eyeshadow looks. Moving on to next eyeshadow, I'm going to be using this shade called Backstage, which is such a pretty blue matte shade. I'm going to be using this to sort of intensify my eyes. This will also help me to blend the blue eyeshadow that I'm going to be applying later on. So now I'm reapplying the shade Wifey again. I'll also be reapplying the shade Queen because you guys know how I like to blend my eyeshadows. And if you don't, I would highly recommend you guys checking out this video on your left where I go more in depth about how to blend your eyeshadows like a pro. So now I'm using this metallic eyeshadow pencil by Nykaabeauty. I think it's in the shade Navigator. All the details will be mentioned in the description box below. So I'm basically applying it as a thick eyeliner and then I'm going to be blending it out using a brush. So once I'm happy with the blending, it doesn't have to be precise by the way, I'm going to be using this blue eyeshadow by Forever 52 and look at how gorgeous that blue shade is. So I'm applying that eyeshadow all over my eyelids and next, you guys guessed it, I'm going to blend the eyeshadow. Okay, so once I've blended out that blue eyeshadow, I'm going to be using the shade Wifey again and then I'm also going to be reapplying the shade Queen because you guys know the drill by now. So with this sort of an intense eye, there's a lot of back and forth going on with the eyeshadows, but trust me, the end result is going to blow your mind. So now I'm taking the shade Wifey on a pencil brush. I'm going to smoke out my lower lash line. I'm keeping my lower lash line super simple because the eyeshadow on our eyelids is super intense. So I'm cleaning up my eyeshadow here because I wanted it to have like a crisp line. So once that is done, I'm going to be dipping onto the Forever 52 palette again and using that shade, I'm going to be applying it only on the centers of my eyelid because I felt like the eyeshadow looked a little dull. Yeah, now we're talking. Look how good the eyeshadow looks. I'm also going to be applying the same eyeshadow on my inner corner and also on my brow bone. Just giving you guys a close-up of the eyes here. Now I'm applying these lashes by Pretty Unicorn, which I absolutely love, and I'm also going to be applying a nude eyeliner just to open up my eyes, and I dreaded doing this. So the last step is to apply a lip liner and then a lipstick. So the lip liner is by Forever 52, which I have spoken about in my recent video. And for actual lipstick, I'm going to be using this one by NYX. It's the Lip Lingerie in the shade Push Up. With that, the makeup look is now done. I hope you guys enjoyed this makeup tutorial. In case if you end up recreating this makeup look, don't forget to tag me on my Instagram and also come follow me there. So with that, you guys, I'm gonna take a leave and I'm gonna see you guys in my next video. Bye, Linda.